Okay, sorry about that. I don't rightly know what caused the microphone to suddenly stop working, but it's working. Gotta love technical difficulties. Okay, we're getting set back up here. And I'm coming up on 90% to level 29. At 29 I'll get new spells. So that's good. Good to get new spells. It's unfortunate that one of those new spells is not a pet spell. One other thing that it would be nice to get the research components for out here is the Shadow Sight spell. So I could actually see in the dark. Because right now I am without Shadow Sight. And I was so excited to hit level 24 and thinking I was going to get it. And get it, I did not. That's why we're going to kill this pariah. Hopefully he's got the words we need. He's got a weapon. I wonder what big streamers do when they have technical difficulties. I should look into that. I think you can set it to run like a video while you're offline or while you troubleshoot. And I think I'm gonna make like a death montage or some sort of montage so that whenever there is issues I can just run that while I'm figuring it out. Target is out of range. Alright, whatever. Need to get another snare up on him. He's gonna move pretty quick. There we go. We're gonna try a different genre of the 20 different genres. I want something a little bit more upbeat. That was like sleepy time music. This sounds pretty sleepy time too. The good news about this area is I can run over to this windmill and vendor. Yeah, we need something else. Okay, we're starting promising. What is this actually? We're not promising anymore. Electro Soul. There's a Grimalkin. Okay, this is kind of what I was going for. I don't want anything like too crazy, but I need something with a beat. We're gonna leech him so that while we're running, we're leeching health. And be feared. Did you get the Intensify Death spell neutral? It's pretty nice. It makes your pet a lot more effective. Like he's been using it heaps, yeah. Like the hardest part is just like remembering to keep it on. I know I have like a hard time remembering to put it on him before I start a fight. I got a good deal on my nicotine pouches today. I went to a gas station and they had them because the main place that I go to get them, they're for whatever reason they haven't had them in stock. And the one guy was like, "Dude, nobody ever buys these," and it said 3 for $7.50. So I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great. 3 for $7.50. I'll take 6 of them." But when he rung them up, they didn't ring up for that price. So then I was like, "Okay, what do I got to do?" And we were like trying to figure it out, and then eventually like the lady working there just called the manager, and they just like like she rang him up, and I got 6 for $12. I paid like $2 a can for these things. I was like, sweet, because those like the Zins, everybody likes the Zins, dude. Those are expensive. They're like $5 a can. They're pretty much like the same price as if you were just going and getting like chewing tobacco. I'm gonna grab this Marauder because these guys drop the words of materials. Maybe I'll get that Hungry Earth. Maybe I'll get lucky. I've killed probably 100 of them, so I'm not expecting to get lucky, but maybe I'll get lucky this time. The other thing is I don't have to fear him because he's not going to beat my pet in a one-on-one fight. Especially with that intensified death, like the pet turns into a beast with that. I did the quest to get the intensified death. I did too, so I showed up here to Lakeaville Omen, ready to farm for the pages, and there was a dude out here, like a high-level Iksar, killing goblins for the goblin skin, and I just ran around behind him and looted him. Look at, all you can see is his feet. That's a sad way to go. Poor guy. Ooh. Oh wait, that's a cat's eye agate. I thought that was a flame agate. Flame agates are money. They're worth like I think 7 plat. And I count things other people kill as still self-found as long as I didn't specifically like coordinate someone else to come kill something for me, if that makes sense. Like if I show up to a place to farm and someone's already farming those things, like you're damn right, I'm just gonna pick the stuff up. It's not like I whispered him and was like, "Hey, can you come out here and help me do this?" It is an MMO. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Like I can't I'm already being restrictive enough on myself. Like, I could be more restrictive. I don't know what there's really somebody that did the solo self found on, like, he's like the solo self found Kuba. He has a list of rules. I think I read it once and I was like, it's like it's my game. I'm gonna play it how I want to. It's my challenge. So I don't really worry too much about stuff like that. As long as I'm okay with it, like as long as I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, "Yep, this is fine," then that's what I go with. Like I don't feel like I'm cheating by picking some stuff up off the ground because somebody else is out there. Now, if I message somebody and was like, "Hey, could you show up here and kill these things?" then that's a little bit different. And I wouldn't do that because then it kind of breaks the spirit of the challenge. Just kind of like with buffs. If somebody runs by and buffs me, I'm like, "Oh, cool, I got a buff," but I'm not gonna like deny myself buffs and click them all off. My pet needs first aid. He is freaking done. Yeah, somebody run by and give me DMF. There we go. Magic window's been giving me problems. Yeah, I should try to get that quest turned in. Drop everything and run to OT. Yeah, I would be like probably on a timer. I'm almost wondering, do I just want to keep the components in my bag just in case that does happen? Because eventually somebody is gonna like they are gonna levitate me. Like it's just gonna happen. And levitate I think is a 30-minute spell, so I have time. I've definitely struggled my fair bit in this challenge already with the research components especially. What's going on over here? Oh, that's great. Somebody else is out here now. That's exactly what I need. Somebody to compete with on the 4 mobs that run through this area. Yeah, there's nothing out here now. I guess we'll just run like halfway across Kunark with something. In the dark, no less. Pantry raid. Oh, they social. Oh my gosh. How come they social? Ah, how come they social here and not in Kearns? That's so weird. This guy's gonna take like forever to read. Oh no, he isn't. That's great. Well, I still have to wait for his deal to wear off his dots. This game's been throwing curveballs at me all night. 4 more seconds. It's like it doesn't want me to get to 29. Oh, hello. Let's get some dots up on him. Sometimes when I dot these guys and I run a long ways, by the time I get to my pit, they've got like 60%. Not the case with this guy. He's kind of high level. We're going to go all the way back up here so we don't pull anything else. No, Zabeaker, I was trying to buff you. You're going to have to let me know what you retrieve from the pantry so I can live vicariously through you. Oh, he bashed me. That was quite a ways to run this guy back. He's got something in his hand. What does he got? He has some sort of weapon. These guys are a little bit harder. I like how he stopped to pull his head off. Actually, we're not going to fear. Pet's got aggro. He can handle him. I hope. Nice. Good job, Pet. A balanced Faresh. And now I'm over encumbered. Let's see, what time is it? It is 10 p.m. in game. I will say that they did a good job with the lighting effects. Like if you look over there, like it looks good. It's just so dark. It's kind of rough. And I think let me see. The words that I need for Shadow Sight. Words of discernment. It says random drop from any level 24 mob. And I think a few of these out here are level 24. Hmm. I'm gonna actually remember to buff my pet this time. Yeah, it'd be nice. Oh, my voice cracked. It'd be nice to have that shadow sight for situations like this where I'm out in the dark trying to get experience. I can't see. What's a tiger? He's a green. I guess he's like a high green. We'll take him. Just because I'd rather be killing something than nothing. Being solo self-found is a exercise in patience for sure. Get him. There we go. I think I get a new dot at 29, so that'll be nice. The dots that I'm using right now are all like really old. Oop. Dang, my pet just like whacked him good. He went from 20% down to like 5. And the experience bar is moving, so I shouldn't complain. Level 24 pet sure would be nice right now. I need the words of allure for that. The next thing I need to do with Mr. Best Friend's intro story is turn it into a YouTube short. YouTube shorts do really well for views. So I think that'll be my next project. And then when I hit maybe 34 or 35, I can do a new recap. Just like another 3-minute recap of what all I've been able to accomplish on here. Let's go. Let's go look for something to kill. What's that? Iksar Pariah? That might drop some words. Synthwave always reminds me of driving in Vegas. I think there was a point when I was living in Vegas that I would listen to synthwave like nonstop. So every time I hear it now, it just reminds me of like driving through Vegas at night. Gotta keep this buff up on my pet. That's such a pain. It's only a 3-minute buff. These pets are not very durable, so he's gonna be out of range. Yep. I was trying to re-snare him. I don't think it's necessary. He's at 20%. I love it when the pet bashes them and they stop running. It's like instant dopamine hit. And the good thing about this spot is there really isn't any pathing mobs with the exception of that one goblin. And I proved earlier I can deal with him. Got some words. Words of enlightenment. That is not the words I'm looking for. This game has given me every word, but there's like 3 words I need: allure, discernment, and materials. In the game, I feel like the game has given me every word but those 3. And then there's gonna be later on whenever I'm like higher level to get the like level 49 pet, I think. There's two words you gotta get that they've gotta be rare. Because the level 49 pet, the spell itself sells for like 1,000 plat. So probably not like extremely rare, but definitely rare. Unless the value is derived from the fact that you have to research it. Oh, there's that goblin. I see you sneaking up on me, goblin. You're not going to get one over on me. I was going to dot him, but I don't think I need to. My pet's buffed up. My pet is a good dot. Welcome back, Neutral Rockets. I was saying earlier, you're going to have to tell me what you rated the pantry for. I am curious. I was bad. I had pizza tonight. There was a pizza in the freezer, so I made pizza. But I ran earlier. I had a great workout today. I hit the gym and ran, so I don't feel guilty about my pizza at all. A burnt fig? Is that like an Australian thing? And honey. Oh, wait, burnt fig and honeycomb ice cream. I get it. Okay. I thought I thought those were like two separate things. Like you had a burnt fig and then you had a honeycomb ice cream. And I was about to be like, "What on earth?" I had to farm that? Or did you farm the fig? It is quite nice. That sounds definitely like something you wouldn't see in an American grocery store. I will say that. I love going to like grocery stores in Europe. The food just tastes so much better in Europe. American food, like American dining is good, but like the quality of the food is not good because it's like so poorly regulated. I've been kind of putting this off, but I'm gonna run over to the windmill and sell real quick. I got some words a minute ago, but they were not the words I was going for. I've been to the States. My impression of the food is the portions are for two people. And everything has cheese. Yeah, we love our dairy over here. And then, yeah, I agree. There's probably something to that portion size as well. Ooh, this peridot sells for 9 plat. Chunks of meat. I'm gonna hang on to those for baking. Cat's eye agate was only 1 gold. Yeah, I think we, in general, as Americans, we just eat a little bit too much. And then we're not very active. And then sometimes, like, even the people who are active, I see them in the gym, and they're just, like, very bulky. And I'm like, man, if you just like, how often you are in the gym, if you just modified your diet a little bit, you would be, like, nice and cut and big. But because they probably don't want to do that, here we go. Icebone, we want you. Ah, it's line of sighting me. And I'm fizzling. I ordered a soup once in Alaska and it was melted cheese. Yeah, that's an actual thing. We have like cheese soups. They like fry cheese in Wisconsin, like cheese curds. I think it's fried. Or you can get fried. There's different varieties. You can get fried cheese curds. He's gonna be out of range. If you range me, man, I'm gonna be frustrated. There we go. It seemed like my pet, or it really was the Icebone running away. He's like, my pet just didn't want to get. Oh, goodness. He resisted the fear. There we go. Although, so I will say this. So, Americans, yeah, we eat too much and we're big, right? Oh, wow, that's the second Gazugi ring tonight. That's crazy. We eat too much and we're big and whatever. Um, in Europe, I've noticed that a lot of the men in Europe, they do eat less, and this isn't meant to be like a big knock on European men, but a lot of them are like skinny fat. Heart of Ice. I think that's for a monk quest. Shackle of Bronze. Oh, and the Illusion Iksar. Because like I've noticed like Europeans, they love to trash on Americans for being fat, and rightfully so, right? Like we're pretty big country. There's a lot of reasons for it, but when I'm in Europe, I also look around and I'm like, they're not fat, but they're not in shape. They're just like skinny fat. We are almost to level 29. Let's look at our level 29 spells. Necromancer. So we get a new dot. That's awesome. We get a new undead nuke. That's also awesome. We get a new snare that is like triple awesome. We're just like awesome, awesome, awesome. We get an undead fear. Okay. We get a new pet heal, a new life tap. That's awesome. We get two new dots. So 29 is that's a big spell level for me. Ah, can't see the wiki. I'm sorry. You know what that is? That's because OBS, it kills me. It does not remember that you had, like, which windows you had up. Sorry about that. And those are all things that I like pre-flight when I'm doing my stream pre-flight checklist. And I go and make sure like the wiki pulls up properly or whatever, but I had to restart OBS because my microphone just at random stopped working. I'm honestly considering trying a new stream software. I just realized it's like going to be such a pain to set everything up the way I like it. But there's been a lot of times where I'm like not super happy with OBS, but it's hard for me to be unhappy with it because it's free. Let's see. There's a Grimalkin. I don't think these can drop words. There's two Grimalkins. When it rains, it pours Grimalkins. Ooh, he was right on me. Today sucks majorly. What's going on, Skyless? Dang, he hit me twice for 40 right there. And then again for 35. We're gonna go ahead and life tap him now so we get some mana or life back. Oh, I forgot to buff my pet. You got family problems, family drama. Dang, 48. These things are pretty nasty. Major drama. I will say that is one nice thing about being military is you don't really have family drama as much because you're never near your family. Like I've seen my parents, I can probably count on one hand, both like for each parent, one hand, the amount of times I've seen them since I joined the military. We are almost there. This is like a decent spot, but I think what we'll do is we'll try after getting level 29 spells, we'll go back and hopefully one of those brute camps. Yeah, there's only 3 people in Warsliks right now. I'll say it again and again. I should have done this on blue. Blue would be like, there's probably like 1 person in Warsliks on blue. I wonder how Quorum is doing. It's pretty bad that none of them is invited to Thanksgiving and potentially Christmas. I like how they like delineate like you're not coming to Thanksgiving, but if you're good, you might be able to come to Christmas. That's kind of funny. They must cause some serious trouble if they're not being invited to like Thanksgiving because I feel like families generally are able to like put aside some of that stuff and be like, "Well, it is Thanksgiving, so we're going to invite you guys." They must have really severed some ties, really caused some issues for somebody. You know what they say, you can pick your friends, you can't pick your family. Would be Christmas too, but my grandmother's debating it. She's having a moral quandary right now. Yeah, that's actually I feel for your grandmother that she's having to go through that and debate like whether or not she wants to spend her holiday with somebody because things are that bad off. I've been pretty lucky in that I haven't had a family drama like that. Like my mom and my dad divorced when I was like 17 or 18. So it really wasn't like a huge impact to me because I was getting ready to start like I was already kind of starting my own life. I wasn't super worried about them getting divorced. But like my mom and my sister get along, but my sister and my dad do not get along. Like my sister will not talk to my dad. So I guess we kind of have it. My girlfriend's that way. She doesn't talk to her mom at all. But there's a pretty long history there that I don't care to relay on stream, but yeah. Do you guys do like a big Thanksgiving with everybody, or is it just kind of like your grandparents and then I guess potentially not your brother or your mother, or do you guys have like a huge family gathering? When I was younger, my grandparents would put on Thanksgiving and it would be like pretty big because they had a big family. What? No Thanksgiving? What's a good Aussie holiday? Like, what do you guys have that's like Aussie only? Is it Boxing Day or is that's like a European thing? I can't remember. Don't you guys have Anzac Day, right? Isn't that a thing? Australia Day. Does everybody go out and ride kangaroos together? Anzac Day is for mourning. I can see that. I don't know a whole lot about the Anzac, but uh, I do know they were very uh, what's the right word? Utilized in World War One, I think. I think they invaded like Turkey for us. Like Turkey was the bad guy, and we're like, we need you guys to invade Turkey, and it was like it was not good for them. Ride kangaroos and emus and have you guys have emus? I thought you had ostriches, or do you have both? And you have barbecues on the beach where you throw another shrimp on the bar. I can't even say it. Throw another shrimp on the Barbie. I'm not gonna insult your accent. I'm not even gonna attempt it because I can't do it justice. We had a guy up here in the States that was from the prawn on the Barbie. Prawns are delicious. They're so big and meaty. I thought it was a bad idea to be around kangaroos with water because they would drown you. They're not afraid. They're Australian. They throw down a Foster's and they're like, let's go. We had a guy up here that was military who was on like a exchange, and he was in the Australian Air Force, and he was so cool. I got along with him really well. He really fit in. Like it wasn't weird at all. And then we have definitely have met some English like UK officers. They're pretty cool. Let's just nuke this guy. He's killing my pet. Saw a TikTok guy. Oh, I love that video. The kangaroo's got his dog in a headlock. Oh, hey. There's that sound. Sorry for your eardrums. That's a tarnished Shantok. We don't need that. Grats, thank you. Yeah, like we like that sound around here, don't we? Yeah, I love that video. The kangaroo has got his dog in like a headlock, and the dude like runs up and he gets his dog out, and then the kangaroo's like squaring up on him, and the dude's just like whop. Sorry, that was loud. Just throws a hook at the kangaroo. I've read online that some people don't like that clip. They think it's animal abuse. Like he should have just walked away or whatever. Ooh, I thought I was gonna sneeze, so I muted my mic. All right, we're level 29. Even though I have no buffer experience, we're just gonna go full send and gate back to Cabalus. Maybe we'll run into Mr. Best Friend's dad and find out if he ever got those cigarettes. I have seen kangaroos go for a swim. That's interesting. I don't really know much about kangaroos, to be completely honest. I know they're like the males carry the babies with them or whatever. Or wait, do they? Or is that is that penguins I'm thinking of? A whole family of them. They just go into the ocean and come out. So they were they celebrating Australia Day as well? It was a very weird thing to see. Yeah, I imagine that is like kind of bizarre to see kangaroos like go out, frolic in the water. Australia's got some really unique wildlife. Oh no, I went the wrong way. Of course, we weren't gonna make that. I used to think kangaroos are the coolest till I learned they will stand in water and try to drown you. Yeah, that's not very cool at all, Skyless. I agree with you. You know what else will mess you up is chimpanzees. Those things have like absurdly strong arms, and they're like ruthless animals. I remember there was a lady when I was a kid that got attacked by a chimpanzee and they like ripped her face off. People try to keep them as pets and they like get mad and just go nuts. All right, Wiki, help me. I need boil blood. Oh, I don't have money. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? We have to run back to East Cabilis. Might as well buy another stack of water while we're there. I like how they put this thing right here, this little plank to get across, but you can't actually use it because you go through the zone right there. And if you go across it here, you're going to zone. I'm pretty sure you're going to zone before you get across. Is Australia like, does it have a really good job market or is it hard to get a job? I think everybody in Australia, they live on the coast, right? For the most part. I imagine that makes it more costly to live there because if you're almost like forced to live on the coast, or are there cities that you don't have to live on the coast? Because in the States, living anywhere near water just like doubles your cost of living just like that. Okay. Time to bank. Somebody buffed me. We have a solid economy, very low unemployment. Let me say thank you to this guy. Very low unemployment at the moment. Most of the jobs are on the east side. Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. I remember when I was a kid, I played this game Neopets. You guys ever heard of Neopets? It was like, I didn't play it very much because I had EQ and stuff, but like my sister got into it, and then I was like, that's okay. Anyway, I met somebody from Australia then, and I thought it was really cool because the internet was so new, you know? I was like, whoa, new internet. Yeah, I'm up to 4 words of spirit and not a single word of. What is it? word of materials to get the Hungry Earth spell. Goblin skins, I don't need these. Kind of running out of bank space, but a lot of this stuff I don't actually need to keep in my bank. It's just there because I haven't gone through it. These chunks of meat I like to keep because one day I'm going to level my baking. Brisbane. Oh, yeah, that's true. It is Brisbane, isn't it? We'll pull out a hundo. Pull out a solid 100 plat to get spells. Let me see if any of these spells are in East Cabalus. No West Cabalus, so we just go to West Cabalus. That's a research only spell, of course. Vampiric Curse. Okay, so this one we gotta get. Vampiric Curse we gotta get in East Cabalus. We got a Spirit of Wolf on us though. So that's gonna make running around Cabalus a little bit nicer. The NPC we're looking for is Lord Vizeroth. He's probably one of these down in like the lower levels. Yeah. Ugh. Which means we're gonna have to deal with the ladder puzzle. Lord Vizeroth, there he is. Vampiric Curse is the name of the spell. 31 plat, bro. Goodness. There's my level 44 pet for 10 plat. Banshee Aura, that's like a damage shield. Wonder if that's worth having. Deals 9 to 12 damage to attackers. Is that a self only? Yeah, that's a self only. But when I'm doing some of those, the like Hail Mary nuking strat that I do on Sarnax, maybe that'll help. So I bought it. It's only 6 plat. We're gonna gate. That way I don't have to deal with the ladders. Kind of wondering if I'm going to have enough plat to buy all this with the 100 plat that I pulled out. I thought these were going to be like 12 to 15 plat. I used to use Banshee a lot for tanking. Yeah, I'm going to grab it just to have it. It's only 6 plat, but I don't know if my plat stack is going to carry me through these next I think 4 or 5 spells that I need. But I'd rather have them than not have them. Man, every time I come in this like part, I always get lost in these tunnels. It's kind of crazy to me that I'm playing EQ. I do have a pearl. I saved a pearl just for this reason. I've had it in my inventory for a while. It's funny how, like, I'll go away from EQ for just long enough that it feels like foreign to play when I start it up again. But it comes back so fast. Keeper Rot. So look at this. This is cool. We started out buying our stuff from, like, these guys, and now we have made it all the way to this guy. I don't know why that, like, that progression of just getting through the different spell vendors is also cool to me. Okay, we need Boil Blood. Oh, that's only 15 plat. Thank goodness. Dismiss Undead. Dooming Darkness. Do we buy the Undead Fear? Maybe. Let's get our necessities out of the way. Spirit Tap. Cause yeah, I'm down. I'm down to almost no plat. Oh, but you know what? That was the last one I needed. I'm not gonna buy Word of Spirit. What's Venom of the Snake? That must be a poison dot. So Panic the Dead was the last one. We'll buy it just to have it. I'm not really truthfully hurting for plat. So now we have a bunch of spells to get through, so let's do that. Vampiric Curse is going to go in place of Leech. And now we can move him to the back. This is how I like to do my spells. I like to have the first 2 pages be like every spell that I need to use. And then I have like the old spells in the back. Banshee Aura. Boil Blood is a... That one is going to go in place of Heat Blood. We no longer need to have that up here. Guess he can go there. Dismiss Undead, that's going to go in place of Expulse Undead. It goes there with the old Ward Undead that was like way long time ago. Dooming Darkness, that is the Snare. That goes there because Clinging Darkness was like the first one I had. Spirit Tap is the new Life Tap. That can go in place of Siphon Life. That can go there. And then Panic the Dead is an undead only fear, so it's going to stay up here. We could probably, now with these new dots, giants are not going to be an issue anymore, or less of an issue than they were. Now what would really be bad is if we die and then we can't use these spells anymore, but they stay in your book, so it's okay. And now we're back in Warsliks. And there's actually a lot of people here, so I'm going to do a camp check and see while we... Because I want to get to the brute camp. We're going to memorize these new spells, though. B3 is still camped. I call camp check. Look at this guy. I call camp check. B2 if not taken already. Like, I called camp check at this, and I was like, is anybody at B2? And this guy's like, I'm taking B2 if it's not already taken. Like, come on, bro. I should just go there and be like, you can't, because you can't call a camp from OOC. That's like, that's not how that works. What am I putting in my 5th slot? The new Vampiric Curse. B2 taken indeed. Let's see, it's 9:30. I don't really feel like running all the way back out to Lakeville Omen, although I do have a sow. Let's try out these new spells on the giants. Probably a few people at giants, maybe these level 24, level 33 monks. One thing I like about giants is it's like right here. The thing I don't like about giants is it's kind of difficult to fear kite there. This guy says I'm logging in an hour and a half. Yeah, so there's somebody here. But there are some giants out and about, so the issue with the giants is fear kiting them is kind of unsafe. This is the kind of the traditional spot I like to go to right here. We'll need to get a pet up before we do anything. I'm very thankful for the reclaim energy spell. I didn't know it existed until like 2 levels ago. And it does make summoning and resummoning a lot better. Oh, you know what I just realized? Well, no, I should still get the different con message for the pet. Because I've leveled up again, so the con message changes. But I should be able to still see it say, like, whatever. It's not going to say you could probably win this fight. It's going to say something like, it's still a little bit risky or something like that. Dang, that one fizzle ate like 8% of my mana. That's nuts. There we go. It's not certain, though. That's what we were looking for. This is the worst mechanic in the game, I agree. It doesn't really make sense to me. Would have been great if they just let your pets be summoned at maximum level. The evergreens are still like a dark blue, so that's good. 29 is a decent like giant level. I remember doing like 29 to 32. This is another spot you could do neutral rockets at level 30. I guess we're kind of close together. You've pulled ahead because I want to say I was like 24 when you were 20, so you've been putting in some work. That's good. Yeah, you can do giants. I really wanted to get the brute camp. That would have been more than ideal. Yeah, now we have higher level dots, so these should go a little bit faster. Thing we have to watch out for is there is still a lot of pathing mobs out here. That wood elf just like popped out of nowhere. These do eat a lot more mana though. Holy smokes. I'm at like 30% mana. But they're doing a lot more damage. I can see he's ticking way down. Can the giants pathing outside the wall see you? No. Oh no, he resisted the fear. Oh my gosh, the game's giving me like foraged goods that I don't need right now. Oh no, he's headed that way. Oh, I didn't buff my pet. Like a noob. Necro skill fail. An Eye of Cerulus and an Onyx. Oh, that's cool. That guy's turning my pet into stone. Giving him some skin spells. He's a level 30 ranger. And the bar moved. I got like a full blue from that. I would like to one day play a ranger. I just don't know if I can afford to play a ranger. So the Greenwoods are... Oh, there's two of them out here. There's a monk there and a monk there. They're monk-deplying. Good joke. Bad joke. Ah. Is my monitor 4K? I actually don't know. I don't... Let's see, there's a sticker on here. It says 144 hertz. Truthfully, I'm playing on a laptop. It's just the best that I've got right now. I want to build a new PC, but money is an issue. Eventually that will happen. So I want to grab this guy before he gets over there, but the mana situation. Looks like there's plenty of forest giants around. The issue with him is he there's like two of them here. Is that going to make fear kiting dangerous? 4K has issues with UI scaling. Interesting. I believe it. I'm sure when they made this game that no one imagined that there would be 4K monitors. It's funny because EQ2, they built EQ2 in such a way that because they thought CPUs were going to keep getting like single core, just more and more processing speed, and it actually like pretty much right after that went to dual and quad cores, and EQ2 runs like trash because of like. Uh-oh. Okay, Skyless, have a good night. Alright, this isn't going very well already. We need to get a snare on him before we kick off a fear. And once again, I have forgotten to buff my pet. Yeah, geez, they just eat through mana, these new dots. Good damage, but wow. Hopefully they don't go too far. Yeah, the damage is good. So, like, the good news is I don't have to recast and recast these dots. The bad news is if you get resisted too many times, it could be like a fail. Rune of Zegany. Decent experience. The Brute Camp is not nearly as good experience, but it's like way safer. Especially with these dots. These dots would just chew through those brutes. I could definitely do the 3 brute camp now. And it's all about like fine tuning your process. Like you could use 2 dots, you can use 3 dots. It's just kind of figuring out the sweet spot for your mana and keeping your mana up and being able to hold all 3 of those spawns. That's a dynamic you don't really see in newer MMOs, like the more action-oriented MMOs. Like you kill something, you sit down, you drink, you get your health back, you get your mana back, and then you just keep going. In kind of a slower paced game like EQ, you're constantly trying to kind of fine tune it to where you're like, okay, I got a 6 minute spawn timer. I can't throw too many uh, dots at this guy or that guy. Sarnax probably would drop fast. I think the issue with Sarnax is I can't fear kite out there on the ledge. And I seem to have bad luck with fear kiting down next to the what they call the back door. I don't know. I'm kind of not negligent. What's the right word? Hesitant to run out all the way out there. I may have to get creative. Oh, somebody's buffed me, so that spell was not even effective. I may have to get creative and start looking around at some other camps though. Like I've found some good camps on this character that aren't commonly done, like the 2 up in the northern part of Warslik's woods. As a solo self found, you really have to explore your options. You can't just beat your head against the wall and hope that it works. I dare say we need to go full mana every time with these guys. Did you find a spot, neutral rockets, like a level 30 spot? I'm not asking to try to come like take it from you. I'm just curious because you have all of Antonica and Fadeware to check out. I let my pet take more damage and Shadow Compact to restore. Not yet. That's too bad. What level are Treants? Treants are good. They're just usually taken. Treants make you some money though. Let's see. We got 1. Okay, there's 2 there. I think they social. Hopefully this doesn't get resisted. It got resisted. I played myself. Yeah, these get kind of dicey with the resists. Oh my gosh, now he bashed my fear right at the last second. Don't go that way. I should probably have pulled him further back. If he goes in there, we're like done. And he doesn't look like he wants to turn. Oh my gosh. Oh, he turned at the last minute. Thank goodness. Let's run him like all the way back here. I think I've seen him path through the wall though, so that part's kind of frustrating. Like I feel like I've seen them run to this wall behind me and just like walk against it for a while and then go through it. Fear wore off early. Those dots are just chewing through them though. Look at that, already at 9. It's not bad. This isn't bad. It's gonna be kind of slow going, getting to 30. mainly because of the med time. So a good necro camp is one that you can almost you have like no downtime. Like you're able to kind of pull fear kite, med while they're feared. You're not having to micromanage too much. I want to split these guys over here on this gate, but I don't want to. I feel like it's really easy to run out of mana. Although if I take the Greenwood first, he's kind of lower level. That might be okay. We'll see what's out there when I hit full mana again. Then again, if I grab something from all the way down there, by the time it gets here, it's going to be at like 70, like 70%. I was looking to see if anybody else from the solo self-found guild is online, but there's only a handful of us out there. Yeah, there's a Greenwood. We'll grab him. Oh, maybe we should. This guy's like pathing over here. The good thing about the giant fort is it can handle a decent amount of solo players. If there's a group out here, it gets pretty sparse, pretty quick. Because a group is going to kill faster than an individual, and they just have all the spawns locked down. Get some dots up on you. Oh, I forgot to buff my pet. I swear I'm going to figure that out eventually. Oh no, I think he's going to do the wall. Oh no, he turned around. We've already heard this song. One time I lost track of what my pet was doing. Actually, I'm going to bring him back. I lost track of where my pet was. And I looked over the top of that hill, and there was like 3 giants killing my pet. This is definitely doable. I've come here at various levels, starting at about 24, and I was like, this is not doable. But this is now at 29 with these new dots, this is doable. And we're about 5% into the level. So maybe half a blue per kill. One thing about Kunark is the mobs have more hit points than Antonica and Fadeware mobs do. So like leveling here is just generally a little bit harder. Like if you leave Kunark and you've only leveled in Kunark for 30 levels, you're like, this stuff dies really fast. I don't know why they did that. They wanted to make it harder or what? We got to keep our eyes out for any giant that has a big axe or a big sword because those sell for a lot. And then all of them, I think, have a chance to drop this chest piece, chest armor, that sells for like a lot too. Also, the zone experience modifier. Yeah, like Kunark has like terrible zone experience modifiers on all their outdoor zones compared to other places. Yeah. I don't know why they did that. I wonder what the reasoning was for it. I wish Brad McQuaid was still alive. If Brad McQuaid was still alive, I would so try to interview him for a YouTube video. He probably would ignore me, but I would pull out all the stops. I'd be like, I've been playing your game since I was this years old. I'd just do whatever. It's really a shame that he passed away. I actually watched his funeral. It was sad. Is Tower of Frozen Shadow? You can watch it on YouTube. Is Tower of Frozen Shadow doable at 30? I don't know. I've gone like inside there. Let's see. I got it up. Can you see the wiki this time? There we go. Okay, good. First level consists of a lot of Shadowbone skeletons. Those are 24 to 28. So that's starting out promising. Shadow beasts. Those are 25 to 27. And lesser ice shades. Those are 29 to 31. It'd be cool to charm one of those lesser ice shades and then use it to just obliterate these skeletons. Let me see. The shadow beasts are lycanthropes, so you can't use your undead spells on them. I would say give it a shot. It definitely doesn't, like, there's no indication to me that it's, like, it would be a complete waste of time. Man, that sow is so nice. I'm going to be so sad whenever that sow drops. Let's get this curse up on him. Please don't aggro them down there. There we go. I think this is the right spot to fear at because it seems like he doesn't ever get that far down there. Although I should have pulled him back there. So if he goes all the way down, that's totally going to be my fault. So far, though, this hill has been decent. And I like that these dots last longer, so they're lasting until the enemy dies. Like I'm not feeling like I'm having to redo snares and dots. Hopefully this stuff sells for a lot too. These Breath of Solusek, Eye of Surlus. I don't know what the Eye of Surlus does. Apparently I can't spell Surlus. It's for summon cold stones for a mage spell. Be right back. Coffee break. That sounds great. I wish I could have a cup of coffee, but it's almost 10 o'clock. I'd be up all night. I got my needles done in my neck again yesterday. That's been like dramatically improving my quality of life. Stick a needle in your muscles and your muscles twitch and shake, but then they feel better like instantly. Like for me, it was like instantly. And I'm super grateful. I got some other things I got to do, like some exercises and some like rolling the muscles, but overall, it's been much better for me. Too many hours sitting at a computer desk, I think, is my issue. Sit at a desk all day at work, sit at a desk all night. Oh no, so is dropping. No, so come back. I need you. that's a sapling. Now we have the long runs to do. There's a greenwood. There's another greenwood. That's a blue greenwood. We'll take you. Just a little bit riskier now without so I'm not able to just get right back to the right back to the scary spot, to the fear spot. Where is he? There he is. We'll go ahead and buff the pet if he doesn't outrange this buff, which it looks like he might. Yep. Ah, that's not looking good. Those dots are like big time hate generators. These things do not want to go off me and my pet at all. The Greenwoods must have way less health. Because I only used 2 dots on him. Guarantee they don't give nearly as much experience though. We're already almost 20% into the level, so what I don't know is, do they drop words? I haven't seen them drop a single word, but they did drop a rune. So it's possible that we can get words here as well. Yeah, according to the wiki, they can drop quite a lot of words, just not the ones that I need. Wonder if the wiki tells me I want the words of allure to research my head. It says charbones and icebones drop those, so I know where to find those. Maybe that's something we need to do. I'm 29 rocking a level 20 pet. If I can make it to 39, I can buy a new pet. That'd be a long time to go with a level 20 pet, though. Alright, we're grabbing you before you get too far. He's an evergreen, so he's going to need 3 dots. Be gone. And I remembered to buff my pet this time. It's a Christmas miracle. Get him, get him. There we go. I thought he was going to smash me. I thought he was going to step on me. I love how you can see their butt cracks. That's awful. I can't believe that's the first time I've noticed that. Let's see. Fear's going to break, but he's going to be running, so that's okay. That was good, like, good med time on that one. Yeah, I can't really complain. Not precisely the camp I want, but it's not a bad camp. There's plenty of stuff to kill. I'm not running around looking all day for a single thing to kill. I'm debating on maybe I can watch some videos about charming. Without the Hungry Earth spell though, I'm really kind of hesitant to do that because as soon as that charm breaks, like what do you do? I don't have a root. The only thing I could think is like maybe try to fear one and then try to get a um, mez off on the other one, but that's like getting really dicey to have two of them beating on you, trying to get one feared. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's why I spent so much time trying to farm that Hungry Earth spell because if that was the case, I would already be out charming like higher levels pets. Then you just always keep. I would have been pretty much exclusively leveling on undead at that point, but you always keep the enemy rooted, so whenever the charm breaks, they're still going to be rooted, but your charm pet you kind of deal with him on his own. Let's grab this green wood. Oh, that's an evergreen. Okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna buff the old pet here first. Of course, now I need to med after buffing the pet. Everquest is a slow game. It's a slow burn. I have an idea of how many hours I've spent playing this character, and I think at this point, me at level 29, probably spent about 120 hours. That's pretty much enough to get a WoW Classic character to level 60. It's kind of crazy. This game has a way of kind of tricking you into not realizing how much time you have spent on it. Bad camera angle, sorry. I feel like as long as we pull all the way back here when we fear. I don't know, let's see. Is he going to turn? Alright, I think we're good. I think this is the safest spot to fear from. Those dots are vicious, though. I like it. There's so much damage going out. It's really weird, the pacing, though. Like, why did they make you suffer on the dots for so long? Welcome back, Neutral Rockets. Hopefully your coffee was good. Like, I don't understand why they don't give you a good dot for, like, 20 levels. Ooh, we got words. Words of dark paths. What do the words of... I think I already have these ones. Words of dark paths. What do these do for us? Invoke shadow. That is for the level... That is so weird. Why is the words for a level 34 pet dropping in a level 20? This game doesn't make any sense. These are like level 27, 25 to 27 enemies. And it's dropping words for the level 20 or 34 pet, but I can't find the level 24 words here to save my life. Wondering if I have those. Dark Paths, Haunting, and Suffering. Do you get like Australian coffee, or is it like you get your coffee all imported? I think there are a few farmers who grow coffee, but generally it's all a blend of imported. Yeah, that's kind of what I would figure for uh Australia. I don't How much arable land is in Australia? Is there a lot of farming that goes on there, or is it mainly like you guys have to import most of your food? Oh, I interrupted. Spell was interrupted. I must have been running still. Plenty of good farmland, good produce. That's good news. I've come to the conclusion these guys can't run that far on my fears for this to be that big of an issue as long as I fear from up here. I'm just gonna kind of let them go in mid. That's reducing my downtime. I was really killing my downtime by like running up and watching where they were going. This game is all about efficiency. There's some words. Ah, Velishul's tome. They got me. They tricked me. Where do I put you? Yeah, because America, obviously, we have like the bread bowl, in the center of the country, and then we have our like hot spots where they grow citrus and on the coast, and then kind of the more temperate regions, and then like the upper Midwest is like soybeans and wheat, hay, corn. Like corn is huge where I grew up. It reminds me of that Family Guy skit where Brian's in the diner and he's like, "Anybody seen any good movies?" No one says anything. He's like, "Yeah, how about those Jets?" And nobody says anything. He's like, "Does anybody want to talk about corn?" And everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I grow corn." Like they go crazy. That's kind of how it is out there. Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, like big time corn farming states. Lots of oil drilling out there too, or there was. I'm not sure how it is now. We have good farmland, but I'm sure it is all bought and owned by. Oh, yeah. I wonder. I think America is the same way. I'm googling this right now. China owns 384,000 acres of U.S. farmland. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I know somebody from Sri Lanka, and he was talking about how they own their port because they had like financed this port, and then Sri Lanka couldn't pay the bills on it. So now like China just has a port. in Sri Lanka. He's coming. He was jumping up and down through the wall there. I hear footsteps. Is it just his footsteps I'm hearing? Okay. Makes you wonder. I don't really wonder. I already know. It's nations have different dimensions of power. Uh Military is only one dimension. They have diplomatic, informational, military, and economic. They call it the dime model. And China has clearly figured that out. I mean, it's not hard to figure out. But they, they're exploiting just as every other country does. Their different power, different powers. Thanks for the rune game. I definitely need those. So we just got over 20%. That's good. We haven't hit any jackpots. Like no Axe of the Iron Back, no woven grass tunics yet. We've only been at this for like an hour. And it's steady experience. It's been a little bit of a quiet stream. That's okay. Not every night is going to be a big night on the stream. And everything goes on YouTube, so if you're watching on YouTube later, please thumbs up the video. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I think I'm going to make like a season of Discovery, like my thoughts on season of Discovery video. I think that'll be good to have. What I really need to start doing is researching ahead of time, like when these big announcements are coming out and have videos ready to go. Its timing is actually pretty important. But I'm just a baby when it comes to this stuff. I'm just figuring this out. I've streamed a lot. I used to stream in 2021 and I had a really good following. Not really good. It was good for me, like averaging usually about 10 viewers per stream. Getting as high as like 20 to 30. And then I deployed and I couldn't keep up with the stream, and so naturally, the viewership moves on. 2 fizzles, that's great. Now I have to sit in bed. Um, but I wasn't like the stream looked just awful. Like I didn't have it set up like I do now, where it's in 60 FPS. I got a HD webcam, like a green screen, all that stuff. I didn't have any of that. It was just very like DIY. Like, how can I do this without spending any money on it? But we had a good time. We really enjoyed it. Like, uh, maybe one day some of those folks will come back. It'd be cool to see. I don't know why I just put Vampiric Curse on him. But I definitely wasn't doing like YouTube then. Looks great now. Just keep it up and have fun. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I just figure, this is my hobby. It's just something that I enjoy doing. So it does take a lot of time to really get it going. The YouTube stuff, I'm actually really enjoying that as well. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. I was about to fear him, and I was like, wait a minute, he's almost dead. Words? Words of motion. I think I already have those as well. Words of motion. That is for the level 34 Lich. So I dare say this may be a good spot to stay in because it seems like I'm getting all of my level 34 words. Even though some of these I already have through vendor questing. I appreciate the words of encouragement, though. Those are the most important words to me. Thank you, Neutral Rockets. So how come you're Neutral Rockets? You're rockets, but you're just pointed straight up because you don't want to shoot them at anybody? It's funny because this song came up on Spotify without me even telling it to, and this is oh, that's right. I used to, or yeah, you used to play TF2. I looked at your YouTube and you had a bunch of TF2 videos. That's so cool. What was that scene like? Cuz TF2 like it was a cool game. I just didn't play it very much. And I think it's kind of like it's sad they haven't made a TF3. I feel like there's definitely a market for it. Overwatch was kind of filled that gap a little bit, but like Overwatch has had problems. In Australia, the competitive scene was pretty small. I played TFC. I'm old. I played TFC in a team on the Cal League, Cal I or Cal O, whatever it was. Not very long, maybe a couple weeks, and then I just got bored. Did field a few teams that were good enough to compete in a couple of international events. That's cool. Some Aussie pride. Yeah, some of these games like it's interesting what countries how they like gravitate towards certain games. Like in the most interesting one is like Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is huge in like the Balkans, like Slovakia and stuff. And one of the YouTubers that I watch pretty regularly sets made some joke like Slavs are trained from birth to play competitive Heroes of Might and Magic. It's an ancient game now. Yeah, that's so crazy to me to think, but you're absolutely right. It is ancient. It came out in like 2007 or 6 or somewhere thereabouts. It's going to be close. What class? I'm guessing soldier based off the name. I played soldier too. The rocket jumping and the just the aiming of the rockets, that's very skill based. I don't like that he's walking through that wall. I don't know what's on the other side of that wall. I'm really hoping there's not going to be two giants running at me here. Oh, scout was your main and soldier was your secondary. We don't need to fear. He can. There we go. Scout was hard for me. They're too like uh flimsy. They can't take any hits. 2 words? What is this? Ah, Velishul's tome. And the words of Kazakh Thul, I have several of those as well. And that one is for nothing good. Dodging is a skill that takes a long time to master. Yeah, I feel like a Team Fortress 3 would do pretty good right now because people are like, from what I understand, they're not happy about Overwatch 2 because it was basically like people were like, why did they call this Overwatch 2? It's not really a 2, it's more like a 1.5 or a major content update. I played Overwatch a little bit and it was like kind of fun, but for whatever reason, it just never held my interest. Shooter games these days don't really hold my interest. I think the one game shooter game that I would go back and actually like try to play would be like Quake Live or Quake 3, just cuz I really I just love Quake, but I don't know if anybody plays it anymore. I'm actually pulling it up on Twitch right now to see. There's a total of 12 people viewing Quake live streams. Quake 3 is just so crazy old. I don't even think they don't even have a category for Quake 3. Whoops. Oh, yeah, they do have a category, but there's no viewers. And I know they did like the Quake Champions. Quake is still insane. That's like kind of got my interest peaked. I got Quake Champions for as part of a humble bundle, but isn't that more or less like a freemium game where you have to like buy new characters with real life money? It seemed like it was monetized kind of like Dota or League of, not Dota because Dota everything's free, but League of Legends. I hear somebody killing a giant. I can't see him. But Quake Champions has like I'm old school. I just want to like everybody on the same page. Quake Champions, don't they have like hero abilities or some sort of different, there's something that makes it so you have to like know their abilities, and I'd rather just know that they have a rocket launcher and I have a machine gun, so I stay away from them versus having to learn this like meta. Sorry about that. I accidentally blew in the mic because I was scratching my nose. Yeah, each character has. I guess if it's just one special ability, maybe it's not too bad. Different HP and movement speed. There's times where I miss playing PvP games. I haven't gotten into PvP type games in so long. What was like trying to think. I did some PvPing on WoW Classic. Um I tried playing that game that was like what was it called? Something Kings, Arena of Kings. It was supposed to be like WoW Wrath of the Lich King Arena, but kind of really dumb, not dumbed down, but like visually dumbed down, but gameplay wise was supposed to be very similar. And it was like kind of one of those super toxic community type games that I was like, it kills my motivation to learn if people are like, you're an idiot. Like the first match you ever play, you're just like, I guess I should have a thicker skin. And it's not like I like, went to bed angry that day or anything, but I was just like, why would I want to do this? Why would I want to subject myself to this? Dota was the same way. Like, one time I loaded up Dota 2 and I was like, I'm just going to be the tree. Like, how hard can being the tree be? And somebody was like, you stupid freaking tree. I was just like, dude, I'm just a tree. Like, I don't know what y'all want me to do. Like, I was trying to play the abilities. Like, I read the abilities and was like, okay, this one heals, this one roots, whatever. I was like trying. It wasn't like I was just running around pretending my tree was like a ninja and trying to stealth through the forest or anything. People were swearing at me. I'm like, I'm a tree. Cut me some slack. Probably the most I've gotten into PvP has been it's sort of PvP, but it's not really called that as fighting games. I love like Street Fighter. Street Fighter 3 is probably my favorite. It's old. It's like way old. And it's probably hard to find people to play with now, but Street Fighter 4 was pretty good for a while. Street Fighter 5 I only played a little bit. I guess 6 is out now. I haven't even touched it. I've got like a full-on set of 3 different fight sticks sitting down here next to me. Played Street Fighter 2. I love Street Fighter 2. Sega Mega Drive. You know what game was on Mega Drive that I really liked? Phantasy Star. I love Phantasy Star. I like playing Phantasy Star Online. Oh no, I can't see him. Kind of late on that dot, but yeah, I really enjoy the Phantasy Star series for the setting. I always thought the setting was like really cool. It's like a mix of sci-fi and fantasy. I first found Phantasy Star. A friend of mine had a Genesis, and he had Phantasy Star 2 on it, and that game is hard. Goodness, that game is hard. When I got a PlayStation 1, my mind was blown by Final Fantasy 7. You and me both, brother. I played 6 like right before 7 came out, and the jump between 6 and 7 was just like so mind-blowing, like you said. Like it was just crazy the jump in graphics and the full motion video. You know, it's Final Fantasy 6, there was no full motion video on the Super Nintendo. The gameplay is really good. I still play Final Fantasy 6 like probably once a year, once every 2 years. I don't know why. I just like it's like comfort food. I already know the story. I already know like where to go, and I just play through it. I don't always get all the way to the end, but I usually get pretty far. Might be the first game that brought tears in my eyes. Yeah, it was like very immersive. And it was like really mature, you know. 6 had its share of mature concepts. Like it definitely jumped forward in that regard from like 4 sort of did, 5 definitely didn't. 5 was like almost childish. I love 5, but 6 had like some adult type situations and like more controversial type content. And then 7, you're like in a freaking like men's spa or whatever at one point, like surrounded by like muscular dudes who are like, yeah, if you want to be pretty, you got to do squats. Like, what? I was like 10 years old and I was asking my aunt who had the game too. I was like, what's this all about, aunt? And she's like, you're not going to understand that till you get older. I was like, oh, okay. Let's see. Do we grab the Greenwood? We'll grab the Greenwood. He's easier. Hopefully this guy over here doesn't path back out and cause issues for me while I'm feared. Or while he's feared. Yeah, like the scene where you've got to get the guy who's in Wall Market to like I don't know, he's got to give you something. He's got to do something for you. So like Cloud, Tifa and Eris all like get as pretty as they can and like go to his creepy mansion. That was like unheard of in video games in 1997. I think that was a turning point for video games overall. Like there was video games with mature concepts before that, but they weren't as mainstream as Final Fantasy VII. Like everybody had that game because it was so crazy. Like everybody bought that. And I think that's when video games started to become less like child's toys and they really turned the corner hard there to like this is like adult entertainment as well. Words? Words of quivering. I've never seen those ones. This could be exciting. My girlfriend is cooking. I smell food. Let's go to the wiki and check out the words of quivering. They're necromancer words. Invoke fear. That's another level 34 word. And it looks like that's good that I got because I'm not able to buy this here. Iksar Necros kind of get hosed. If you're like staying in Kunark, you're not gonna be able to get into these places to buy these words without either paying somebody to do it. So this is a fear that lasts. Let's see how it does. It doesn't tell me how long that. Oh, 42 seconds. The weird thing is, it doesn't tell me. I need words of duration, words of resolve, and words of quivering for that. That's cool. Yeah, this game confuses me because here I am getting level 34 research components at level 29. I feel like this is the way it should be. Like, you should get them before, not after. Yeah, I need to do that, neutral. Like, is there a spreadsheet out there that's already made, or if you have like a kind of a base document that you don't mind dropping in Discord that I can then download and use, that would be super awesome. I'll definitely credit you if I pull it up on stream. Cause yeah, like I do so much. Oh, just copy and paste from the wiki here. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I can just do that. Like I keep saying that like I need to do it because of how much time I spend looking at the wiki and going, "Oh, I can't use this" or whatever. And the reality is if I had a spreadsheet I could just flip over to, it would just be right there. All right, we're going to grab this greenwood. It's a little bit of a risky run. Let's get some boiled blood on him. That can't be that can't be comfortable to have some nasty necro with a horned helmet turning your blood into fire. I have some basic lookups to fill in the quantities. I actually didn't need to dot this guy 3 times. I could have done 2 dots on him. It's all good. He's going to die faster. I should port. You know what I need to do is I need to make a full up like necro spreadsheet with the gear list that I made and then the I'm just going to kite this guy. There we go. With the gear list and the word list and just have multiple tabs. I have a before I was playing EQ, before I started streaming, I played Diablo 2 Resurrected. And I have a full like 17 tab run tracker with the number of runs that I've done in each area and all the items that I've found. I was big on like every run that I did as soon as I finished while the game was loading, you know, because you save and quit. Because I was doing it all solo self found as well. As soon as I saved and quit, I would go and log my run. Like if I got something good, if I didn't get anything really good, I didn't put it down. I wasn't like, oh, I got 34,000 gold and 3 scrolls of identify. I wasn't doing that. But if I got a high level rune or a unique that I didn't have already, and I have a stash on Diablo 2 that's got 10,000 items in it. Like I went hard on that game for like 6 months, to the point where I developed arthritis in my wrists and had to stop. And I never got to finish it. I was doing a solo self-found Holy Grail, and I'm like 91, 92% done. Like I have 8% left. Holy Grail is where you find every single unique, every single set item, every single rune. And I was at like 92%, and then my wrists were just killing me. And I would like sit down to play, and the moment I would pick up the controller, my wrists would just start hurting. It wasn't even like, oh, I just got to play a little bit less. Like my wrist rejected doing that. It was not happening. And it's funny because I'll sit here and play EQ for a few hours a night, and I don't develop any wrist pain from the mouse and keyboard. I tried playing Diablo 2 with the mouse and keyboard, immediate wrist pain, and the issue is that on Diablo 2, you're constantly teleporting everywhere. And that amount of like button presses was just too much for my wrists. You sent me a link to the sheet. Thank you. Stand on the shoulders of giants, as I say. That's one thing I'm big on at work is like, has somebody else already done this? Like whenever we try to figure something new out, like I'm like, is this a new problem or is this just new to us? Can we figure out if somebody else has already done all this legwork and then we don't have to waste our time doing it? Oh wait, I don't want to fear you here. I want to fear you back here. He put a little bit of a hurting on me. Yeah, this is much more manageable at level 29 than it ever was at 28, 24. These dots have made this doable. Killing these evergreens without the dots was so slow. He's beating on my pet. I'm proud of you, level 20 pet, pulling aggro off of me. Let's see, it's 10:30. I really should be getting ready for bed. Then again, I could just grind more experience. The experience bar is moving. Who am I to question it? You've had a good amount of time, Neutral. Normally you're like, I gotta go do dad stuff. You've been on here for a while. I used to plan my EQ around my dad chores. Like, I can do this camp, but I can't do this camp because if I'm in a dungeon where I'm managing spawn timers, I can't do that because at any moment my kid's gonna be like, I need this. I'd be like, so I would always do things that I could like go kill a bunch of stuff, med. Like this is a good dad camp. It's like you can park your butt up here and you're not gonna have any issues. And I would always play characters that had like invis or feign death. That way you could just invis, feign death, hide. Got my girls playing in the other room while I'm in my office working. Yeah, it's crazy because like my girls are now like old enough that I mean, I wouldn't have to do dad camps anymore. The kids are all pretty much self-sufficient. Like my daughter texts me tonight and she's like, I want to make ramen, but there's no bowls. I was like, has anybody shown you how to wash a bowl? Like, I can help you out. Can't wash it for you because I'm in another state, but here we go. We haven't seen any giants with weapons out here, have we? At one point, this place was like my plan to go to get money, but this doesn't seem like that effective of a place to get money. I must have just remembered it being good money because I probably didn't know how to make money on a character back when I was a youngster. It's funny how differently you play these games when you're older versus when you're young. It's like when I was a kid, I had no concept of like I might be able to sell this to another player. Do you need as much money for solo self-found? No, likely not. I mean, the one kind of big money sink that I'm concerned about is research training because it's going to be like it's going to start costing like 1, 2, 3 plat a point. So that's kind of the big worry about money. But if I don't research, like there's no getting those spells because I can't go buy them from other players. So I'm guessing like research training is going to cost thousands of platinum. Other than that, spells have been easy to come by. When I was first starting, I remember being like, "Man, how am I going to afford these spells?" Because like from like level 8 to 16, maybe 20, there was a point where I was like, "Dude, I'm broke," and then there were spells that I had available that I couldn't buy. And then once I got past that point, and you start making more plat off of like these drops, like you get a lot of words, runes, gems. These gems that I have right now are junk, but some of these sell for like 10, 12, 10, 12 plat. So at that point, now I can afford my spells, and it's really just research. Research is what I'm worried about being able to not afford. And with how hard it is to get the words that I need, I don't want to fail those research attempts because I may only get like one shot at it before I outlevel that spell anyway. The spot's been good to me so far, though, as far as experience. Let's see, we got a evergreen pathing down here. I don't like to camp anywhere that I have to run an incredibly long ways to get back to my kite spot. Ooh, I need to use this curse maybe sooner in the rotation. Takes a long time to cast. It's going to be interesting having to use the tools that are available to me to make these levels happen. It already has. Because, yeah, if I was able to just go to the common lands or make a forum post, I would already have all the spells that I need. Necro is the only tool I need. Yeah, it's more like the suboptimal like not having a high enough level pet or higher level pet. So I'm having to work around that a little bit. Like I'm 29, rocking the level 20 pet. But yeah, you're right. Necro is really self-sufficient. They're really good at what they do. They solo really well. So it's definitely like solo self-found easy mode, I will say that. Compared to like, I don't know, Warrior. War Warrior solo self-found would just probably be absolutely miserable. I know the guy that did the level 60 Warrior solo self-found, he ended up like range kiting a lot of levels, which is just, to me, kind of defeats the purpose. But if that's all you got, like, that's what you got to do. Yeah, I saw it, like he went to Karana or something and found a bow, and then he was just like bow kiting using like the strafe running techniques, because you can just ever so slightly outrun mobs if you like push forward and left or right and strafe run. It's kind of like a bug. That's something I didn't know as a youngster either. You can outstrafe mobs without Spirit of Wolf. I always thought you had to have Spirit of Wolf to outrun a mob. There's so many different like things that we do in this game now that we didn't do back then. Most people didn't do. Like I'm sure there was some people that knew about that, but I certainly didn't know about it. It kind of had more charm though when you didn't have things like the wiki and all the information that's available to us. Like I said earlier, I wish I could get that magic back. Like I would pay legit real life money to be able to re-experience that. Give me one sec. I messed something up. There we go. When EQ3 comes out, yeah, I need to make an EQ3 video. There's a YouTuber that I follow that made a like this is what I want from EQ3, and it's so funny to hear people now say like now that we're so far into the MMORPG, almost said MMOcracy, MMORPG lifespan of like how things have been done, how they've kind of transpired. It's funny to hear somebody say like we need a death penalty. Like that's something that 20 years ago people were like get rid of the death penalty. It's too punishing. I don't like it. And so they pretty much got rid of death penalties in MMOs or they made them very negligible. And it's funny to hear people say like EQ3 needs to have a death penalty. He was like keep all the same classes. Don't change the classes. They're fine the way they are. Oh goodness. I keep getting interrupted. I hope I don't get squashed here. There we go. We need less than 30 expansions. What was really bad is when there was a point in EQ's lifetime where you had to actually buy those expansions individually. And I'm not talking like the beginning when there was only four or three or five or whatever. Like I foolishly bought like a giant compilation of expansions from Sony and it still didn't get me like to the most recent expansion and I paid like $120 for it and this is in 2009 so that was probably like $200 today. I definitely didn't make the money then that I do now. And so I just like having to pay for all those expansions was just that was bizarre. Yeah. I don't know if you were on stream earlier when I mentioned how like the UI in retail EQ, like when you open your character tab and you have these there's some things that Project 1999 hasn't been able to get rid of like this tab evolving items. We all know there's nothing in P99 for this shroud progression, whatever the hell these are. Yeah, AA tab is still here. The face button is still here. Die. But retail is on like another level. Like you have that little button that sits in the lower left corner and you click it and there's like 40 different UI functions inside that one button and none of them are kept up. Nobody's like there's systems that are no longer being maintained or put into current content. It's really weird. You figure they go back and I guess if they went back and they got rid of it, it may like take away from the game where somebody may want to go back and be like, what did Shrouds do and actually do the quests and the whatever stuff to utilize it. I agree though, it is. It's way too much. It feels very like Franken game. It feels like they've got this game like stitched together with suture thread and it's like combining all these different concepts, good or bad, failed or successful. And then as a like returning player, I'm not really a new player. I would be like a returning player. It's so confusing to me to see all that. And then you get like content fatigue because there's so much content and you're like, where do I start? I don't know. Do I need this? Do I need this? And it's so much that like the wiki doesn't really give you a good overview of like what you need to be doing. I think that's why more people don't play EQ now, like EQ retail, because there's just so much to it. And it's not all good either. It's not like, oh, there's so much to it and it's all so good. It's like there's so much to it and making sense of it requires like a ton of research and most of that stuff's not even useful. Ooh, my fear wore off like immediately. This one's getting kind of spicy. There we go. That's why I play P99. You know, this EQ is a really good game. In its earliest days, it was still a really good game. I don't really need all that stuff. When I play WoW, I don't play WoW retail. I play like classic WoW because it's basically a kind of like a more accessible version of EQ, really, when you drill down to it. But all the depth is still there. A lot of people say WoW has less depth. I disagree. It's all still there. It's just not as obvious. And I think they did the raid mechanics way better in early WoW than they ever did in EQ. Some of those raids, like I did POP raiding on Agnar, and it was just like I don't know. It felt like you were just kind of doing the same thing as you would in a group. Personally, I really didn't like it. That's part of the reason why I'm not on Quorum, because it just like I did the POP rating and was kind of like, eh. The only reason why I did it is just because I'd never rated on EQ, despite having played it for the entirety of my adult life. I've never actually rated on classic EQ. Did you raid back in the day on this neutral rockets? I kind of want to, but I think one of the things that really makes EQ stand out from other MMOs is the journey is just as important, if not more, than the destination. Like I enjoyed just doing this, and when I play WoW, even WoW Classic, I'm pretty much just grinding for the end game. I'm not really like truly enjoying the journey like I do on here. Cause like I'm playing this guy and I'll probably never raid it, not even once. Oh yeah, that's right. You were like kind of young, never got past level 24, spent a year playing and floating between different characters. Yep, we talked about this. Shared experience. The whole like level up to level 15 and then see somebody else on another class and be like, that's so cool. I want to do that too. And then you drop your character and make a new one, suffer through the boring first 15 levels, do it all again because you see some other class. Yeah, definitely can relate with that. And yeah, it is fun to like, it was like fun to explore. Um, when I was young, like I remember grouping with like a druid. I was like a monk or a, no, I wasn't a monk. I can't remember what I was, but I ended up meeting up with like a wood elf in the Kinos area, which I already was already kind of cool because people back then didn't travel as much as they do now. Like we know the whole game world on P99 and we travel around it quite a bit. Back then it was like kind of to me, at least in my perception, was like kind of a big deal to go get a port and go to somewhere completely different. And so like I see this level 9 wood elf and we end up grouping and then I mean we went on like a full on adventure together. Like we started out in like Blackborough and then we went to like Erud's Crossing and we like rode the boat together and I just like it was just so neat. Like the music kicks in on the boat, you know, and you feel like you're on this like grand adventure versus doing a chore leveling up to end game. I didn't even know there was an end game. I didn't know what end game was. And that's the other cool thing is like the first time you play this game, you're just playing it. You don't realize there's even a destination that you should be striving to get to. And I think that's the coolest way to discover the end game is to actually get there and then be like, wait, there's more? Like, how cool is that that you were to go like 40, 50 levels and then realize, like, wait, there's a giant dragon I can kill? There's a god I get to go to the home of a god and kill him? Give me something good. Bloodstone. Whoop, 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 whoop. What's going on? I'm liking this. I'm already halfway to 30. I'm liking the giant spot. It's finally doable. A little bit more downtime than I'd like, but haven't had any issues with like the giants running down here and aggroing these other guys. Goodness, this zone blew up all of a sudden. Wonder what these higher level, like level 35s, 38. I'm gonna ask them. I want to know if they're maybe they're going to like down there. Oh, there's Rick. There's he's a friend of the stream. Level 38 now. Nice. He's putting in some work. Shoot, 38. He's 8 levels from being able to raid the plane of fear and plane of hate. He's another one that we talk about like how differently we played the game because Rick, when he played originally back in like, oh, what's up, Dak Dog? I wasn't sure if you were in here, if you're just out playing. Dak Dog was one just died of the overseer and down there, huh? I'm gonna look at that on the wiki. I'll save it for another med. Was 39, but back to 38. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Dak Dog was one that he did like level 1 to 45 or something crazy in the like a single zone in the Everfrost Peaks. That was like self-imposed masochism. I guess that's what masochism is. Self-imposed punishment. Like I don't even know how you did it. I bet you were really popular there. You were probably like the cool guy. You were like the guy who went back for like a fifth year of high school. You really bored there? Somebody's whispering me, and I don't know. They may not have understood my question. I'm just gonna be like, okay. Dak Dog, do you want to see the video I made for Mr. Best Friend's intro? I think I'll show it off one more time on stream, and then it's getting kind of late. Let me do some like nuke down my mana bar here. This guy's like telling me all about he thought I was asking if what should you do at level 30, and so he's explaining to me all the areas you can level at level 30. He definitely didn't he's like, "Yeah, go to Unrest, go to Mistmore." I'm like, "I was asking what the level 30s were doing." Yeah, I'll nuke this well, not nuke. I'll dot down this
Throw more dots, more dots, more dots. Come on,
Sorry, that
more
was kind of
dots.
loud.
Hey, stop dots. Now hit it very hard and very fast.
Hit it very hard, Kenober. Uh-oh. Is that... Okay, I got a little bit scared. I thought that was an ad. Okay, we can just life tap this guy to death. Oh, wow. He just died before I could even do that. Alright, we got a good low mana bar here, so let me pull it up on my... So this is set to publish tomorrow. It was supposed to publish today, but I got my days mixed up. But this is the intro and origin story for Mr. Best Friend and why he is in fact a solo self-found Iksar. Let me see. Let me get it pulled up here. We need to turn down the music. There we go. Music's muted. Gotta run. Neutral Rockets, thanks for hanging out tonight. Have a great night. Okay, we're gonna play the saga of Mr. Best Friend, and then we're gonna have to head to bed. Yep, we saw that. So there, there's the intro story for Mr. Best Friend. He's had some struggles. Very nice, thanks. I think I'll play it probably at the beginning of my streams. Or I guess if I play it at the beginning, I don't know. I don't want to play it so much that folks are like, oh my gosh, this again. But I do want to play it at times where there's potentially like newer viewers who haven't been following since. I mean, shoot, some of you guys have been following since I was like level what 8, level 10. So yeah, probably play it at certain points, or maybe put it just up on the intro page for the channel or something like that. But it is getting kind of late for me. I want to thank everybody for watching. I really appreciate your viewership and for supporting me here on Twitch. And then if you haven't checked out my YouTube, there's a link on my Twitch that you guys can get on there and subscribe. There's some different videos that'll be coming out, mainly EQ, but also other MMO focused. So if you guys want to check that out, definitely